Imagine meeting a woman who quickly captures your heart and mind, leaving you constantly thinking about her. You might be wondering if she feels the same way about you. Attracting a woman isn't just a matter of luck. It's the result of a deep understanding of oneself and how we interact with the world around us, which often reflects our philosophy of life. In today's journey, we'll learn secrets from the of Stoicism that, when used correctly, can make that special woman feel drawn to you and think of you all the time. It helps us get a better handle on our feelings and deal with problems by teaching us to be calm and patient and encouraging us to look for more in every experience and relationship. When we control our thoughts and actions, we become stronger, more confident, and naturally attractive. Are you ready to start talking about this? Please take a moment to like this video and subscribe if you haven't already. We have a lot of useful information that will help you grow in all areas of your life. Let's get started. Number 1. Remember the details. This method not only uses the ancient wisdom of Stoicism, but also fits perfectly with the art of making a woman think about you. Stoics stress the importance of paying attention to details to better understand the world and ourselves. We can use this same principle in our relationships, especially with someone we care about. It's all about the details. Little things you remember about someone are a modest but powerful way to show you care. Think about it. Doesn't it make you feel important when someone remembers something small about you? Many women naturally pay attention to small things. In Stoicism, we focus on observing and understanding the finer details of our environment and the people in it, which can lead to deeper insights and connections. When you apply this to your interactions with a woman, noticing and remembering small details about her will set you apart. It shows that you're not just present in the moment, but actively engaged when you're talking to her. Really listen. Is she a coffee lover? Does she have a favorite author? What other small things that make her day, like hearing that she loves a certain type of coffee, are gold? For example, if she says that, surprise her by bringing it up in a later conversation, or even better, having it ready for her before she asks. This isn't just about listening, it's about showing that you care about her preferences. The next time she talks about her day or a personal taste, either remember it or write it down for later. Remembering these details later shows that you're not just listening to her, but also understanding what she values. Stoicism teaches us not to dominate, but to balance. When you remember these details, it's not about showing off how good your memory is. It's about building a relationship. It's like saying, "I see you and I appreciate you," without saying them. This builds trust and can make her feel closer to you because she thinks you care about her feelings and experiences. But don't use this too much like the Stoics did. Balance is important in everything, and that includes how much you remember and how much you share. Make it feel normal, not like a list you're checking off. And while you're at it, share some mystery about yourself as well. But don't share too much. Focusing on these things will make her interested in you too. You're not just playing a game, you're setting the groundwork for a possible relationship where both of you feel seen and valued. You're connecting with her in a way that most people would miss. This isn't just about getting her to think about you, it's about making a connection that could lead to something deeper. So the next time, really listen and notice the little things. Then talk about them later in a way that seems thoughtful. See how her eyes light up when she realizes you've been paying attention. These are the moments that create lasting impressions. Number 2, be unpredictable. It may sound like this is all about being spontaneous and exciting, and while that's true, it also taps into greater wisdom, especially from the point of view of the Stoics. Stoicism teaches us to be open to change and the unknown, which we can use to make exchanges memorable and interesting. This is especially true when it comes to romance, where the key to being unpredictable is breaking out of routines and monotony. Remember that the last thing you want when you're with a special someone, especially a woman you like, is for your time together to be planned. Stoics like Seneca and Marcus Aurelius often talked about how important it is to live life fully and not let fear hold you back. This way of thinking can directly apply to how you deal with her. Psychological studies show that surprises are often what make things exciting. Dopamine is a chemical that makes people feel good and attracts others. It is released when people experience new and interesting things. If you always do something unusual, she'll associate those exciting feelings with you. To shake things up, why not try something that neither of you has done before? For example, if you've spent most of your time indoors, plan a day of adventure sports like rock climbing or a last-minute road trip to an unknown place. The point is to do things that get her adrenaline going. Another tip: change the things you talk about. If you normally talk about everyday things, add an interesting philosophical question or a crazy hypothetical situation to keep the conversation interesting. For example, let's say you're walking through the city and instead of just going for coffee, you see a street fair with dance acts. Take advantage of the situation by joining the dance or discovering that she hasn't been to a certain landmark in the area and taking her there without planning to. The important thing is to make these new experiences feel exciting and new from a Stoic point of view. Being unpredictable isn't about being reckless, but about being open to life's possibilities and accepting experiences as they come without any expectations. Socrates said that people should live their lives according to nature, but nature is unpredictable and full of shocks. When you consistently add an element of surprise to your time together, she will start to see you as someone who brings excitement into her life. This not only makes you more attractive at the time, but it also makes memories that she will associate with you, making her think of you even years later. So push yourself to leave your comfort zone, not only to keep her guessing, but also to enrich your own experiences. This way, you both grow and discover new parts of yourselves together. Remember that life is about the unexpected. It's easier to remember trips when you share them with someone else. Being unexpected is a unique strength in a world where being able to plan ahead is often seen as a good thing. Unpredictability can be very helpful in many areas, including personal relationships, business plans, and even artistic projects. It keeps people on their toes, stops them from getting comfortable, and creates a lively space where creativity and flexibility can grow. To be unpredictable, you don't have to be erratic or unreliable. Instead, you have to be smart and creative in how you surprise people. Here are 5 main points that teach you how to be unexpected and why it's important to do so. It throws competitors off balance. In competitive situations, being predictable can hurt you because it lets your opponents plan ahead and counter your moves. By being unpredictable, you keep them wondering and make it impossible for them to come up with good ways to beat you. In business, you should always be coming up with new products or marketing plans to get ahead of your competitors. In sports, change how you play to keep your opponents off guard. Encourages creativity and new ideas. Patterns that are easy to spot can make people less creative. When you accept that things might not go as planned, you make room for new ideas and exploring unusual answers. Application. Hold brainstorming meetings where all ideas are welcome, even if they aren't the usual ones. Try out different methods and be open to making mistakes when you're working on creative projects. Makes personal relationships stronger. In personal interactions, being predictable can make people bored and comfortable. Adding parts of spontaneity and surprise can help bonds grow and get stronger. How to use surprise your loved ones with activities or events you didn't expect. Break up the routine every once in a while to keep the relationship interesting. Helps people be flexible and strong. Because things are unpredictable, you need to be able to change and bounce back. You get better at dealing with change and uncertainty when you face unexpected events head-on. Application. Take on new tasks and see them as chances to learn and grow. Make backup plans in case something unexpected happens, so you can quickly change course if you need to. Gives you strategic advantages. In strategic planning, being unpredictable can help you get ahead of people who stick to standard methods and act in regular ways. For some, it can open up new chances and benefits. Use. To gain power in talks, try new strategies that you wouldn't expect. In war, use unpredictable moves to trick your enemies. This is a strategy that many great leaders have used in the past. Being unpredictable is a strong trait that can help you in many areas of your life if you know how to use it correctly. It keeps enemies and competitors away, encourages new ideas, makes personal ties stronger, and makes people stronger. Accept that things can go wrong sometimes, but see this as a chance to get ahead in a world that is always changing. Number 4. Use implanted commands. Let's look at an interesting idea that comes from the ancient philosophy of Stoicism, but has direct application to how you can subtly change a woman's mind about you. Stoicism teaches us how to control our thoughts and feelings, and we can use this knowledge to learn how to communicate effectively, especially when it comes to leaving a lasting impression. Now, think about the idea of implanted commands. Stoics like Marcus Aurelius and Seneca didn't talk about their interests like we do, but they knew the power of influence and control over one's mind. In a similar way, when you're talking to a woman, it's important to adjust your conversation to her level of understanding. In other words, everyone has their own unique way of talking to themselves, and using that style can help you connect with them more deeply. These steps are meant to help her connect with the way her subconscious mind works, which is where the implanted orders come in. An implanted command is basically a phrase that is meant to bypass the conscious mind and speak directly to the subconscious. It's not blunt or direct, which women can find off-putting if it sounds like a command. Instead, you hide these commands within a longer, more harmless sentence. For example, you could say, "I wouldn't tell you to think about how comfortable and relaxed you feel around me, because I'd rather you discover these feelings naturally over time." This sentence skips over the conscious filters and plants the idea of comfort and ease directly into the subconscious. The beauty is in how subtly it suggests without demanding. Another example could be, imagine us just enjoying a conversation without worrying about where it might lead. This command to enjoy a conversation sneaks in under the radar, encouraging her to feel at ease and open during your interactions. Change is not the important thing here. Relationship is. Stoicism tells us to respect the way things happen and how we feel. If you use implanted commands wisely, you'll be in sync with this flow. When used with care, this method respects her autonomy by letting her experience feelings and thoughts as if they were her own. It also creates a way for real connection. The best way to communicate with someone is to reach them where they are speaking in a way that they understand and respond positively to. By taking this approach, you'll not only make an impression, but you may also be able to start a meaningful connection that feels right for both of you. So the next time you want to make an impact, think about how you can gently plant an idea that grows organically in her mind, just like the Stoics would have said. Now, if you're still with us and enjoying the video, please take a moment to pause and leave a yes in the comments to show your commitment to becoming a more attractive version of yourself. Let's keep going on this journey together. Number 5. This may seem simple, but there's a deep connection with Stoicism that teaches us about the courage to stand by our beliefs and the importance of being able to say what we think in a clear and polite way. When it comes to making a good impression, especially on someone you're interested in, how you share your ideas can really make a difference. First things first, speaking out about your ideas and thoughts is a sign of confidence. Don't just stand in the background when people are talking. It's important to give your opinion. This doesn't mean you have to take over every conversation or be loud about it. Stoics like Marcus Aurelius say it's important to use your voice to show your values and virtues. When you're getting to know someone, especially a woman you're interested in, being open and honest about your thoughts and feelings can be very attractive. It shows that you're interested and thoughtful. Most importantly, real people are drawn to people who can offer new ideas and start intellectually stimulating conversations. Now, just because you say what you think doesn't mean you won't have differences. That's normal. What matters is how you handle them. As Stoics tells us, disagreement should not bother us. Instead, we should respond calmly and logically, showing that we can handle disagreement with grace and respect for the other person's point of view. This not only improves your case, but also earns you more respect from those around you, including the woman whose attention you've captured. Don't get stuck on a single set of ideas or start repeating yourself, as this can make you seem uninteresting or unrelatable. Talk about a lot of different things like art, science, politics, or your own life. It's interesting and attractive to see that you can talk about a wide range of topics. Sharing your ideas is great, but make sure they are relevant. Link your thoughts to everyday events, feelings, or stories. By building a bond between you and her, you make it easier for her to understand and agree with your points of view. Being familiar doesn't mean putting your thoughts in a simple form. It means saying them in a way that people can understand. Lastly, always stick to your values when you're talking to people. People, especially women you might be interested in, respect someone who knows their own mind and isn't easily swayed by others. This doesn't mean being stubborn, but rather being firm and consistent in your beliefs. It shows depth of character and integrity, which are both very attractive traits. So the next time you're in a conversation, don't hold back. Share your ideas bravely and wisely. Remember that it's not just what you say, but also how you say it, and how well you respect other people's points of view. Ask questions, be honest, and listen with respect. This will not only make you more attractive, but it will also leave an image that lasts. It's not just about attraction, it's about building a relationship based on mutual respect and intellectual exchange. Sharing your thoughts is an important part of growing as a person and as a worker. Putting your ideas and thoughts out there can help with creativity, problem solving, and working together to achieve goals in a school, the workplace, or a social setting. It's not enough to just say what you think. You also have to listen and value what other people have to say. This process helps to make a space where everyone feels like they can take part and add to the progress and understanding of the group. Understanding how important it is to share ideas. Sharing thoughts leads to more inspiration and new ideas. It lets people build on each other's ideas, which leads to better and more useful answers. It encourages people to work together and make sure that everyone feels like they are valued and heard. Good ways to talk to people. The best way to share ideas is to talk about them in a clear and concise way. This includes putting ideas in a way that makes sense and making them easy to understand. The way people hear and understand ideas is also affected by things they do without speaking, like eye contact and body language. Making a place that is safe and open. More people are likely to share their thoughts when they feel safe and respected. Keeping away from criticism and judgment helps everyone feel like they can speak up. Setting rules for discussions, like active listening and giving helpful feedback, make sure that people can share their ideas in a healthy way. Paying attention. When people share their ideas, they don't just have to talk, they also have to listen. Active listening means giving the speaker your full attention, making sure you understand what they're saying, and answering with care. It helps us see things from different points of view and can lead to answers that are more complete and include everyone. Building on thoughts. Working together to think can help people come up with new ideas. A simple idea can grow into a well-rounded concept if people are encouraged to build on each other's ideas. Mind mapping, or the yes and buts method from improv, can help you think of more ideas and make them better. People and groups can make a dynamic and innovative space where ideas are freely shared by knowing and following these principles. This will help them be more creative and solve problems better. Number 6. Speak differently. Flirting is an essential skill in the dance of attraction. It's about sparking curiosity and interest that can lead to building sexual chemistry. Stoicism teaches us about the importance of genuine interactions and knowing oneself. These principles can guide you in how to flirt effectively, not just to attract, but to connect. The goal here isn't to be seen as just another guy. It's about standing out by how you engage with her. True sexual chemistry comes from a mix of confidence, authenticity, and mutual respect. It's about showing that you're interested in her as a person, not just a pretty face. This is where many fall short. They focus too much on appearance or canned compliments that lack sincerity, instead of the usual compliments on physical looks, which can come off as superficial. Focus on her personality, her passions, or her intellect. For example, if she talks about a book she's reading or a project she's working on, acknowledge her passion or dedication. Say something like, "I really admire how passionate you are about your projects. It's impressive to see someone work so hard." Stoicism isn't about giving in to every feeling. It's about having a strong, stable core. When you flirt, show that you care by sticking to your values and beliefs. This doesn't mean being stubborn. It just means not giving up your own ideas just to agree with hers. Women like men who know who they are and aren't afraid to stand by their beliefs. This makes you more interesting and attractive. Listen to what she says and respond with thought. Stoic ideas and values, deep thought and careful conversation. Include this in the things you talk about. Ask her open-ended questions that make her want to talk about more of herself. This shows that you care about more than just how she looks. By focusing on these deeper aspects, you make a deeper bond with her. She'll feel seen and heard, which is very attractive, and she'll start to associate those good feelings with you, which can make her think about you long after your interaction. It's not just about making an impression. It's about making a lasting one. Remember that flirting isn't just a game. It's a way of communicating. It's about showing interest and appreciation for someone in a way that makes them feel valued and respected. When you combine this with the Stoic principles of authenticity, integrity, and respect, you create a powerful dynamic that can leave a lasting impression. So, the next time you're talking to someone you like, remember these tips. They'll not only help you flirt better, but they'll also help you make connections that are both meaningful and memorable. Number 6. Speak differently. Voice. It's not enough to have a nice voice. You need to know how to use it to show emotion, adapt, and connect with your audience. In this case, the woman you're interested in. Women are drawn to people who can express themselves in a unique and interesting way. If you can master the art of vocal expression, you'll offer something that truly stands out. Most guys don't think about how they use their voice, but it's a tool just like any other. Here's the thing. You don't have to be born with a great voice to develop vocal charisma. It's how you use it. Don't talk in a monotone. It can make even the most interesting things sound dull. Instead, learn to change the tone of your voice to match the emotion and energy of what you're saying. For example, if you're telling her about an exciting experience you had, change your voice when you get to the most exciting part. Turn up the volume, speed up your steps. Let your voice show how excited you are. On the other hand, if you want to share something more important or personal, slow down and lower your tone. Dynamic use of your voice can bring your stories to life, which makes you more interesting. From a Stoic point of view, the way we speak should mirror how we feel inside. Controlled yet expressive, deliberate yet natural. Marcus Aurelius and other Stoic thinkers were known not only for how wise they were, but also for how they spoke. They knew the power of a well-delivered speech or a piece of calm advice. When you speak in a different way, change the tone of your voice. Your speed. Changing your volume during a conversation shows that you're not only there, but also actively participating. It also shows that you're aware of the subtleties of the interaction, which is very attractive. Women like it when men communicate in a way that makes the conversation more vivid and memorable. You have a unique ability to make someone feel through your voice. It's not just about making her laugh or impressing her with stories. It's about making her feel a range of emotions just through your tone and delivery. When she walks away from your conversations, she will remember your voice, the way you spoke, and the emotions you evoked. So take the time to think about how you speak and start practicing. Read out loud, changing your voice as you go, or maybe even join a speaking club. Remember that the goal isn't just to sound different. The goal is to fully engage with your conversations emotionally and dynamically. This kind of vocal presence doesn't just make you heard, it makes you remembered. Number 7. Talk about the future. If you want to show that you're serious about your relationship, talk about the future. It's not just about making plans, it's about showing that you want to be a part of each other's lives in the long run. All Stoicism teaches us to focus on what we can control and to plan for the future through wise thought and actions. Talking about future plans is a good way to do this. This philosophy is reflected in the way you think ahead, consider possibilities, and show your commitment to many people. Talking about upcoming events like going to a concert next year or planning a vacation shows that you see yourself with her in the future. This doesn't just mean physical security, but also emotional and relational stability. For example, if you're talking to her on a nice evening and bring up a concert that both of you love that's happening in a few months, Even suggesting that you and she go see them live next summer can get her excited and looking forward to it. Talking about your hopes and dreams, like starting a project together, or even small plans for the future, shows that you're thinking about a road you can both take. However, timing is very important. Stoic advice doesn't mean acting without thinking, but rather acting in a thoughtful and appropriate way. Make sure that your relationship is at a point where talking about the future feels natural and not forced. You don't want to rush these conversations because they can overwhelm instead of inspire if they're brought up too soon. When you talk about the future with her, you give her something to look forward to and think about. It's not just about the plans you make, but also about the message they send that you value the possibility of a future together. These conversations can have a big impact on how she feels and thinks about you, because they plant the idea of longevity and dependability, which are qualities that women highly value in a partner. It's important that these conversations are real. Don't use planning the future as a trick. Use it as a way to say what you really want to say. Be aware of how she responds. These talks should be interactive, letting her share her hopes and worries. This way, you can both share your hopes and dreams, which can be a beautiful way to strengthen your connection. It shows that you care, are committed, and want to include her in your life's journey. Like the Stoics who valued wisdom and foresight, you can use these talks to not only make smart plans, but also to strengthen your relationship with her. This will make her think of you and the possibilities of your relationship long after the talk is over. Remember that the goal is to grow together, envisioning a future that makes you both happy. Number 8. Create information gaps. This strategy isn't just a game. It's a thoughtful way to get someone interested in you and make them want to learn more. It fits perfectly with a Stoic approach to relationships, where the focus is on real connection and depth rather than just surface-level interaction. Just think about your favorite book or movie. What kept you interested? It was probably The Secret. You wanted to learn more about the unknown parts of someone, so you let them discover layers of your personality over time, instead of telling her everything at once. This is especially important when you're trying to get a woman to think about you. Sometimes you say something interesting but don't give enough information to make people curious. This is called an information gap. It means showing parts of your story or character in a way that makes people want to know more. Stoicism shows us the value of holding back and the power of what we don't say, which can help us learn and understand more. If you're talking about a recent adventure, instead of telling her everything that happened, you could say something unexpected that happened, but not what happened. For example, I was hiking in the Rockies and ended up in a surprising situation with just a map and my wits. Then you could pause. This creates a natural cliffhanger by not telling her everything at once. You turn into a puzzle she needs to figure out. People are naturally interested, and when we see a hole in our knowledge, we want to fill it. This is especially true in social situations. When she finds these holes, she'll think about them, wonder about them, and want to spend more time with you to fill them. Knowing when to speak and when to listen is what Stoicism is all about. When it comes to building relationships, Stoicism encourages keeping a dignified reserve that gives your character depth. By not telling everyone everything about yourself right away, you live by a Stoic principle. Some things are more valuable when they are discovered over time than when they are given away freely. However, be careful not to go too far into the realm of secrecy, as that can come off as cold or uninterested. The key is balance. Share just enough to keep the conversation going, but leave just enough out to spark interest and curiosity. This balance will not only make you more interesting, but it will also foster mutual respect and interest, which can lead to deeper, more meaningful interactions. So the next time you're in a conversation, remember that it's not just about what you say, but also what you don't say. Let your stories breathe and give her room to wonder and ask questions. This will not only keep you on her mind, but it will also build a connection that is both stimulating and profound. Think of it as weaving a story together, with each of you adding to the story. Leaving gaps in knowledge is a strong way to teach that will get students more involved and help them learn more. The idea behind this method is to purposely leave out some pieces of information, leaving a gap that students feel driven to fill. This way makes people curious, gets them to learn by doing, and gets them to think critically. It's easier for students to learn and participate in class if teachers plan lessons where students have to find and fill in empty information. How to figure out information gaps. Learners have an information gap. When they are missing important pieces of information, they need to finish a job or figure out a problem. This method relies on students' natural desire to learn and understand, which motivates them to take part and be interested in the subject. Planning activities that leave gaps in information. Set up tasks where students need to talk to each other to find out what they're missing. This could include puzzles, role plays, or jobs that require them to solve problems. Make sure that the missing information is necessary to finish the task. This will get the students to work together and talk to each other. Using gaps in information in lessons. Make sure you have a clear goal before you start the action. The gap should fit with the learning goals. Put students into pairs or groups and make sure that each person or group has different information that other people need. Helping people communicate effectively. Students should be encouraged to share their knowledge, ask questions, and really listen to what their peers have to say. Give students sentence starters or question ideas to help them properly word their questions and answers. Looking back at and judging the activity, watch how the students connect with each other and write down the things they do to find out what they need to know. After the action, have a debriefing where the students can talk about what they learned, how they did it, and how they felt during it. This helps them remember what they've learned and improves their ability to think about how they think. By leaving some information out of the lessons, teachers can make learning more fun and participatory, which not only helps students learn the material, but also builds important skills like problem solving and communication. Number 9. Don't give her attention. The idea of don't give her attention comes up a lot in dating and relationship discussions, especially when guys are getting advice. The idea behind this concept is that ignoring a woman can make her more interested in or drawn to you. The idea comes from the thought that most people value things that they have to work for and lose interest in something or someone when they can get it quickly. People should be careful and respectful when using this method, and they should focus on keeping their own boundaries and self-respect instead of trying to control other people. Take care of your own time and attention. Know that the time and attention you give are important. You show self-respect and confidence by not giving it away all the time. These are traits that people may find attractive. Do not be needy. People who are always trying to get other people's attention or praise can seem needy and insecure. You can avoid this trap by not giving her too much attention. Instead, you'll seem more confident and independent. Make a mystery. It can be mysterious and interesting when you are not always approachable or predictable. People want things that are hard to get, so this might make the other person more interested in you. Pay attention to your own life and interests. Don't base your life on someone else. Instead, pay attention to your own goals, interests, and pleasures. This makes you happier and more beautiful, since people like people who have full, independent lives. Set up healthy boundaries. In any relationship, it's important to set and stick to limits. You show that you respect yourself and have boundaries by not giving her too much attention. This can help the relationship grow stronger by promoting equal respect. Don't give her attention is about finding a middle ground between being interested and not losing your cool. It's important to handle this idea with honesty and real self-worth, making sure that how you use this principle is based on healthy behavior and respect for both the other person and yourself. Stoicism teaches us the value of self-discipline and the importance of focusing on our own lives and virtues. In relationships, this can mean not always being available or giving someone your full attention, even if you're really interested in them. It's about making the most of your time and energy when you're always available. Being taken for granted is easy, and people tend to value what is less available to them. If you make yourself valuable by not being available all the time, it shows that you have your own life, with goals and passions, Being genuinely interested in your own growth and pursuits is what this is all about. Imagine you're working on a project that's important to you, learning a new skill or even moving up in your career. These pursuits not only make your life better, but they also make you more interesting and attractive. They show that you are self-motivated, which is a very desirable trait. When you are genuinely busy improving yourself, you naturally become less available, which can make you more interesting and appealing. Instead of constantly checking your phone or making plans just to be with someone, set concrete goals for yourself. Whether it's going to the gym, reading more books, or working on a personal project, make these a priority. Balance the time you spend on her with your own life. This doesn't mean ignoring her completely, but rather that when you do spend time with her after being really busy, your interactions will likely be more meaningful and engaging. You'll have more to talk about, and she'll appreciate the effort you're making to fit her into your schedule. This balance can make her think more about the times she does spend with you, valuing them more because they happen during your important personal commitments. Think of yourself as a high-value person who values their time and others' time as well. This will not only change how you see yourself, but also how others, including the woman you're interested in, see you. It's about earning respect and showing it by how you live your life and interact with others. So follow the Stoics' advice. Focus on improving yourself, being disciplined with your time, and finding a balance between how much attention you give and receive. This will not only make you more attractive to others, but it will also lead to a fuller, more satisfying life. Remember that it's not about ignoring relationships, but about improving yourself so that you add more value to the time you do spend with them. This concludes our in-depth look at how Stoicism affects personal relationships. Remember that what's important in attraction isn't just a brief moment of bond, but a long-lasting one. Today, we talked about techniques and ideas that are more than just plans. They're basic rules that help us live a calmer and more reflective life. Take these lessons to heart and let them change the way you deal with relationships. Remember that good things come to those who wait, and a real bond is always worth the work. Keep building up your inner strength and letting your true self show. If this movie spoke to you, please leave a comment below. I do to show that you're committed to putting these Stoic principles into practice in your life. We'd also love to hear your personal stories or any reflections this discussion may have sparked. Your interactions strengthen our community and help us all grow. Don't forget to watch the suggested video on your screen for more insights and discussions that can further enhance your understanding and application of Stoicism. Thank you for spending time with us today. Keep striving, keep learning, and remember that every interaction is a chance to practice patience, deepen your understanding, and build real relationships.